welcome to Michelle versus the Scale again. Thanks for coming back, or if this is your first video, thanks for watching. I'm Michelle and I'm currently on a weight loss journey involving bariatric surgery, and I thought I would share my journey with the world in case it helps anyone out there. So today's topic is setting yourself up for success post-surgery. So this is things that you need to start doing before you have surgery to make sure that you are ready for post-surgery. I've again got a list of things, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at, so sorry about that. I've not got a very good memory. So the very first thing that is on my list is water. Now, I admit, a year ago, I was terrible at drinking water. I never drank it. I drank tea, I drank fizzy, pretty much anything apart from coffee because I'm allergic, unfortunately, than water. And I knew that part of the bariatric post-surgery thing is really important to keep yourself hydrated. So I went out and I got a cute little water bottle in my favorite color, which is purple, and I put it on my desk when I work, and every time I see that, at the corner of my eye, I take a sip. I take it everywhere with me. If I'm going shopping, if I'm going for a walk, it goes with me. And I made that a habit because post-surgery you cannot drink very much at a time, so you need to be constantly drinking, basically little sips at a time. And it's a very important, and I think it's very important to make that habit before you have surgery, because you don't want to be trying to do all of these things post-surgery while you're in pain and you're on drugs, you're not thinking properly, and there's just a lot going on. So if you start making it a habit early, you're set up for success in that sense. You're not going to end up in hospital with an IV bag because you're dehydrated, which happens apparently quite a lot. The second one I have got on my list is meal times. Try and set yourself up with set meal times. I had this quite easily because of the way my job works. I have set meal breaks. So Monday to Friday, pretty much I know exactly when I'm eating because that's when my meal breaks are. I have a job where I start at 10 a.m. and I finish at 6:30 p.m. So I have breakfast at about 9 before work, and then I have my lunch at 1:30, and then I have dinner pretty much as soon as I finish work. I start cooking. So it's very regulated, which helps. The weekends are a bit iffy. I need to get better in a routine for that coming up to my surgery, but I think with my 3-week pre-op diet, I think that will help because I will just carry over those weekday meal times to the weekend. The other one I want to talk about is food tracking apps. I've been using the one for my Fitbit for years, so I know how to use that. Make sure you find one before surgery that works for you. Figure out how to use it, because again, this isn't something you really want to be doing, fiddling around with post-surgery. You want to be able to just punch in the stuff, good to go, and it'll show you all the, it should show you all the macros, so how much protein you're getting, how many carbs you're consuming, the calories and all of that sort of stuff. My Fitbit app is also really good, and I can track water consumption in there. I haven't actually been inputting it in there because my water consumption has been so regular that I no longer need to put it in there, but post-surgery I will probably start doing that again. My next one is kind of a fun one, but also kind of a bad one. It's what we call in New Zealand food funerals, or you could just say food goodbyes. Basically it's having something that you know you love that you're not going to be able to have post-surgery. Do not wait until you are in your pre-op diet to do this. Make sure you plan to do these before you start your pre-op diet. Your pre-op diet is specifically designed to shrink your liver so it's not in the way when they're doing surgery. It is not about losing weight. So it's very important that you don't have your food funerals during your pre-op diet. There is one that I'm really sad that I'm not going to be able to do, unfortunately, because New Zealand is currently high COVID with the Omicron. We're in alert level red in New Zealand, which means that there's a lot of community spread. And because I am in the vulnerable category, because I had pulmonary embolism 2 years ago, it means that basically I don't go out. I stay home. My partner goes out once a week to go pick up the groceries that I've ordered online, and that's about it. So I was really looking forward to having a really good steak dinner out, but unfortunately that's not going to happen now. All the rest of the ones, Uber Eats is great. Unfortunately, the place that I love to go for steak dinner is just a bit too far away for Uber Eats, so I just get stuff delivered for my funerals, and I've just about finished having them all. I'm one of those people that are really happy that Easter stuff comes out early, because my surgery is mid-April, which means I have no part of April basically that I'm not on my pre-op diet, so I can't have stuff then. But Easter hot cross buns came out a couple of weeks ago in New Zealand, so I'm super happy that I got to say goodbye to them before my diet. Okay, so the next one is a big one. It's an important one. It's your relationship with food. If you have a bad relationship with food, as in you binge eat, you're an emotional eater, all of that sort of stuff, you need to work on this before you have surgery, because surgery is not going to fix that. And if you do things like overeat and binge eat after you've had surgery, it's super dangerous. Like you could burst your stomach or your stitches. It's just bad. There's also what people get called dumping, or the foamies, and it's not a pleasant experience from what I've been told, so I'm really hoping I never have to go through it. But it's a big head game, losing weight. It's not easy. It is hard, but it's something that you need to work on before you have surgery. You need to be in the right headspace to have surgery, because it's a tool. It's not a quick fix. Yeah. So make sure you talk to your doctor. My specific surgeon, they make you talk to the surgeon for your first appointment, and then you have to speak to a psychologist and a dietitian, and you have to get signed off by both of those people before you can move forward and have surgery. I think that's actually super helpful for people's long-term health. I know that not all of the surgeons in New Zealand require it, but I think that that should be like the gold standard, because it could go badly for you if you aren't prepared. Okay, so next topic is taste testing stuff. So I've found through a lot of people talking that their taste buds change post-surgery, and I have noticed that, I did notice that when my mother had a heart surgery, after which her taste buds had changed, and the doctor said that that can happen from the anesthetic, and it'll eventually wear off, and it did. It took a few months. But also a lot of people have said that just from the stomach removal bypass part, that they no longer can handle super sweet stuff. So bear that in mind when you're tasting stuff. But I think it is important to try things before surgery. So I was sent a bunch of different multivitamins to try, because unfortunately I'm allergic to most artificial sweeteners. So there is one I can have, which is sucralose. So my dietitian sent me a bunch of different multivitamins to try for post-surgery. And one of them was a powder drink, which did have sucralose in it. But when I tried it, it was so sickly sweet at the concentration that they say to make it up to, that I couldn't drink it. And so I had to water it down quite a lot to be able to drink it. And the volume increased so much that I didn't feel like I could actually be able to consume that amount post-surgery. So I ended up going with a chewable tablet. My current plan is only to have those for a month, and then I'll switch to tablets. But that may change post-surgery, I don't know. So yeah, it's really important to taste stuff, because while you might like caramel lattes, which is one of the flavors of shakes I've seen, if you have the actual caramel latte, Optifast or Celebration shake or whatever, you might find it completely disgusting. So make sure you try things, because weight loss stuff always tastes different. Okay, so next, discuss your meds with your doctors. Now, one of the many reasons why I chose to go ahead with a sleeve rather than a bypass is because one of my medications, which is my birth control, I do not want to have to change my birth control. It works for me. I have no problems with it, so I don't want to mess that up. Whereas if I had a bypass, then I would no longer be able to have that specific pill, and I'd have to switch to a different birth control method. And this may be the case with other medications, I don't know. So it's really important to discuss them with your surgeon, with your GP, and come up with a plan of what's going to happen. Me, again, specifically, I've come up with a plan with my GP about my blood pressure medicine, because I'm currently on 2 lots of high doses of blood pressure medicine, and his concern was that after I have surgery, my blood pressure is going to drop quite significantly, quite quickly. So we just need to track that, be aware of it. My mum has low blood pressure sometimes, so I know the symptoms to look out for. I actually also bought a blood pressure cuff so that I can monitor it myself at home. It was like $40 off of Dick Smith online, and it got delivered within a week. So it's a little bit of an expense, but for me and my safe of mind, I felt it was worth it. What else have I got? Oh yes, this is one that's not going to apply to everybody, but it definitely applies in my house. So it's just me and my partner that live together, but I cook almost all of our meals. I have a catering background, I do catering voluntarily, I've run cafes, I've run a McDonald's, yada yada yada. I cook. So I had to think about that for while I'm on my pre-op diet and post-op, because I'm probably not going to want to feel like cooking a bunch of meals that I can't eat. So my plan is for when I'm on my pre-op diet, basically he's going to eat whatever I'm eating, plus I will make him something extra, which will probably be a carb, because basically my pre-op diet is low carb, high protein. And then for once I've actually had surgery, I've started making freezer meals. So I've just made extra portions for the meals that I've been making for the last week or so, and I will continue to do that up until surgery, and they go into the freezer. And so then when I've had surgery and all I'm having for 3 weeks is chicken broth and cups of tea, my partner can just go into the freezer, pick something, microwave it, and he's got food. He did say that he could cook for himself, but it's something that gives me peace of mind, because one of my love languages is food. And so I like to prepare food for other people. So that's obviously not a complete inclusive list. This is just the things that came up when I thought about it and what I thought about with my journey specific. So if you've got other things, comment down below, and as always, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.